Cheers, everybody, and welcome to the Driver Recruiting Happy Hour podcast. My name is Darin Williams. I'm the president of CDLjobs.com. With me, as always, is my co-host, the president of Ten4 Recruiting, and a man who spends a lot of time online raging about the fact that children are not named Virgil anymore. Matt Beach. Beach, why does that upset you so much?
It doesn't upset me that much, but do people like when a baby's a boy is born, do parents really go, let's name this kid Craig? I mean, how many
why not
times,
Virgil? I mean, you're the one that rants about it. Why not Virgil?
Well, true, but I mean, still, I mean, I'm again, sorry not to offend anybody whose name is Craig, but at what point did your parents go, let's name this kid Craig? I'm just feeling this kid right here is a Craiger.
Do you think Craig is a more unique name than Virgil?
No, it's just one of those names that you just, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Who do you know any Virgils?
No,
your age?
no, I don't. I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't have a Virgil in my Rolodex. I don't
think there's anybody under the age of 45 named Virgil. They don't exist.
Buford.
Buford.
When did you
Buford
get
T. Justice?
When did you get this? So I've got it. When did you get it? And where did
I got it like last week. I ordered it 2 months ago.
So I'm a trendsetter.
You are a trendsetter. I've always known that.
But it's like you got that. That's the part of the movie where he's looking at him, and then I've got the one where it's like I like it. It's completely different. It's like the same different types of scenes. I love it.
Kind of ties into the whole trucking thing a little bit. It's a conversation piece.
It does. It does.
What about names that can be for a boy or a girl? What do you think of that? Before I tell you who our guest is.
Like Tracy. Tracy's more of a girl's name. And that's my sister's
Tracy Morgan.
Yeah, and that's my sister's name. And
sister, or he could have had a sister named Tracy and a brother named
Tracy.
You are from Soddy Daisy, Tennessee.
I am. And a lot of people.
My brother Daryl and my other brother Daryl.
And I was in Orlando recently, and this old couple, I was talking to them because I got to talk to people. I can't just sit next to you and not talk to you. And so and to the point where like, all right, this guy's awkward, right? And so I'm talking to this old couple, and I'm saying, "Oh, honey, we used to live down in Jackson," and all this, So they're talking, and they're like, "Where are you from, honey?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm from Saudi."
Wait a minute, that's Ruby.
Well,
with the smoker's costume.
So if you go back, yeah, exactly. Still, Ruby's. Every old person I think of has the Ruby voice, right? Honey. Yeah. And so, get on the front porch, just shuck some corn, honey. And so, and we're sitting there, and I say something, and I hear this guy on this train go, "Ain't from Saudi, ain't nobody." I'm like, what the heck? And sure enough, there's this guy that he teaches there and lives somewhere else, but Disney, it was a small world, So
they should use that in their marketing. Hey, speaking of marketing and names that could be for a boy or a girl and shucking corn, you kind of hit the whole jackpot here. We got an Iowa person, which, go Hawks. Go Hawks. I haven't figured out how to point to things behind me. We have the chief people officer. Have you ever been a chief people officer, Beach?
No, we call that CPO.
You have not. The CPO at Hirschbach Motor Lines, Jessie Burnette. Jessie.
Hi, guys.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Well, don't say that yet.
I know. So let's go Hawks. Yes, for sure.
So bubbly.
Go Hawks. You have a daughter going to the University of Iowa this fall.
I do. I'm so excited. I love going to the football games. We love tailgating. And she's super excited. So we're pumped.
We will have to connect. I tailgate right outside the northwest corner of Kinnick.
Oh, it'll be good times. I'll be there. You let me know what your spot is.
We'll have to. We'll hook up on that. What's been going on? Haven't seen you since Nashville, right?
Same old trucking keeps going, never stops. I do have a question for Beach though. So speaking of the boy-girl name, so Jessie being a boy-girl name, do you think my name is Jessie or do you think my real name is Jessica?
It's Jessie.
I would say Jessica.
Beat you right.
Yeah.
One of the few times you're actually right. So good job.
Hey,
He's bats 1,000 on trivia questions on the
Yeah.
podcast.
I'm not bad on trivia. I'm actually pretty
Oh,
good.
good.
I'm not bad.
And Jesse, if I'm not mistaken, you were the second guest in a row who is planning a wedding.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
Yep. My wedding is in 9 days from today. So we're pretty excited.
Such
So
a
you already have
handsome
an official.
young man. Yeah, and he's such a handsome young man.
Yeah.
He is a handsome man. I met him in Nashville.
You did. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did.
Mighty fine boy. Mighty fine.
I agree.
Well, I was going to offer, so our last guest, Kennedy Ruley from Melton, you know Kennedy.
Yes.
She was, she's getting married in November, and Beach is an ordained minister of Sun Young Moon Church of Nature or
Close.
something.
Nailed it.
And so we were going to try to have him be the officiant. So if anything happens in the next 9 days, let us know. We'll be there.
Okay.
I'm his manager.
All right, perfect. I'll queue it up and make sure just in case my man falls through. Actually, the president of Hirschbach is actually ordained as well, and he is going to marry us. So
Nice.
our
Brad?
wedding is out in Colorado, so we'll be flying out there, going out there next week, and
What
we
part of
got-
Colorado?
in Winter Park.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So Brad is a Renaissance man. Holy cow. This is Brad flies planes, right? He's a pilot.
He does have his,
He
I
can
think
be.
he doesn't quite fly anymore. I think he's got people who fly him, but yeah, he can
Okay,
fly.
he
He
used
has
to be a
flown
pilot.
before. Yep.
That's people that fly.
A minister, and he owns Hirschbach Motor Lines. That's
Yeah, well,
That's
actually,
three
Brad
things I'm
is
not.
not marrying us. It's Dan Wallace who's going to marry us. So,
well, that was a big story about Brad for no reason at all.
but they're both pretty cool.
If he's listening, Brad, congratulations. That's overwhelming.
Brad's not listening.
You never know.
I'd give anything if Brad's head just slowly popped up over there behind Jesse and was like, I'm
His
here.
office is like right there.
Oh, so I shouldn't have said it that loud.
He's
I know
not
Brad from a
sitting in there that I know
long,
of.
long
You're
time
okay.
ago.
Yeah.
Long time ago. Mike Gross. Boy, a lot of names have changed there since I was there last. As a matter of fact, the whole office has changed. As we were talking to a little bit ago, it was in South Sioux City, Nebraska.
That's been a couple years ago. I think back when I started, it was like 2011, maybe 2010. When I first started Hirschbach, they were still in South Sioux City. And as I was going in kind of for my interview / first day, first week, the entire office was like moving. They're packing up and moving to Dubuque, Iowa. So I'm like, what in the hell am I doing? I'm starting a new job and everyone's leaving. And so they kind of left the recruiting team in South Sioux and everything else kind of moved over to Dubuque area. And so our corporate office is in Dubuque, and recruiting, it was pretty small at the time. As you can imagine, only, 300 to 400 trucks at the time. We didn't need a huge recruiting team or a lot of staff. And I think there was only 3 of us kind of holding the fort down, and we've grown since then and grown the company and the recruiting team.
And they have since moved that office to downtown Sioux City as well,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
Great building, like painted like your trailers.
Have you seen
Right?
it? Yeah, the
I have
entire
seen it.
thing. Graffiti,
Yeah.
the entire outdoor of the whole building.
Yeah, it's
And walls
actually
on the
really cool.
inside.
Oh, I
Yeah.
gotta check it out.
Yeah, you gotta get out
Yeah,
more.
It's really cool. Yeah, if you ever find yourself in Sioux City, if
Yes,
you're ever on your way to
I-
nowhere.
With
If you're ever on
Ruby
your way
and
to the middle of
Virgil.
nowhere, stop
I
by
gotta
Sioux
check
City.
it out. I gotta look it up.
So Jesse, tell us what a chief people officer does.
CPO.
Yeah,
CPO.
C3PO, CPO. Really, we just focus on working with all of the people in the organization. We've got a lot of amazing people. And again, going from, a couple hundred people to a couple thousand people. We have, 8 different locations across the country. We've got a yard in Nashville. We've got one in Idaho. There's one in Texas, Oklahoma, so we're all over the place now. And so just making sure that everyone has that same message, that same culture, that same feel. Really a lot of training, a lot of working with people and making sure we've got the right people in the right places, including drivers. A lot of drivers in the world.
It's pretty fascinating how much Hirschbach has grown in a very tough market over the last 10 years. I mean, it really is.
Yeah, the last probably 2 years have been a little bit more tough. When you're going from 300 trucks to 500 trucks to 800, it doesn't seem like it's that big of a climb, but recently, going to 2,000 trucks and then now with JCT about 3,000 trucks, that's quite the jump, and keeping all of those trucks filled and all of those people happy and working and, you know, freight and miles. I mean, it's been quite fun. I'll say that.
Quite a challenge.
That too.
So I have a weird question, and yeah, I know. Get ready, Ryan. And it's not that bad. It's not actually a pretty good question. Do y'all use Lyft or Uber?
It depends on where we're at. So to be honest, here in
Good answer.
Dubuque, and if you're going to East Dubuque, one of the services won't take you over the bridge. So you're limited on which way you can use. They have to stay in Iowa. So both in Sioux City and in Dubuque, we're in tri-state areas. And so here we've got Wisconsin, Illinois, and Iowa. Well, one of them will not go over the bridge. So if you're staying in Iowa, you're okay. Use option A. If you want to go across the bridge to either direction, you have to use the other one.
Have you ever Ubered to East Dubuque earlier than 1 a.m.?
Usually it's, you know, reverse. Because East Dubuque stays
See,
open later.
there's no good reason to go to East Dubuque unless it's 2 o'clock in the morning. And you need
Exactly.
a foot
You know
long
this.
chili dog from Mulgrew's.
You've been here. You know this.
I'm an hour south of you.
I know.
Foot long chili dogs at Mulgrew's Beach. I'm
Right?
telling you, they're life changing.
So here's another part of that, the question. How many of your drivers do you think also drive an Uber or Lyft?
You mean do for both?
Yeah. Or either one. They when they get done driving, they also like, hey, I'm
Oh,
On the weekend,
you're
I'm
talking
like-
about how many Hirschbach truck drivers drive Uber?
possibly, yeah. How many?
Hopefully
Zero.
they're not using their truck to drive. So that would be the first thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Taking 250 people to East Dubuque.
cab rides. You know, I really don't think there's many of them because most of our drivers are over the road. So they're either, you know, out for 3 weeks at a time. We've got a group of drivers who are probably out for 5 to 6 days at a time. And I don't think they want to continue driving on their days off. So for our core fleet, probably not a whole lot. We've got some local guys though too. I
So
can see
again,
for an option.
I'm that
Minimal.
awkward guy that's always going, I'm going to talk to you. Whether you're Uber, you're some old
Yes.
lady sitting next to you, I'm going to find out more about who is this person that I'm in close connection somewhere in this vicinity with. I'm going to talk to you. I would say 99.9% of the time when I talk to an Uber or a Lyft driver, they have a Class A license.
Are they
and
actively driving? And if not, Beach, you need to
Yes.
get a card.
I was it was in Orlando and asking them just, hey man, what do you do besides just Uber? Oh yeah, I drive truck on through the week. I'm home on the weekends. Just want to make a few extra bucks here and there. And so I come out and turn on the Uber button or whatever and go pick people up around the airport. It's good money. And I was like, and I guarantee I'd put money on it, just about every Uber driver that you encounter. I guarantee they have a Class A. I just find that
Driving records.
hopefully.
I would have guessed the opposite.
No. And I would too, but at the same
Not a
time,
very smart man.
it's interesting that a lot of
you
them
go.
hold a Class A license. I was in 3 different Ubers and all 3 of them were a Class A driver.
This could be a new recruiting experiment. I send my recruiters just in Ubers to ride around and see how many drivers they can hire. Could be a new thing.
Back and forth to East Dubuque.
Yeah, exactly. How many of those are in that area? 1 or 2, 3 or 4? I don't know how big Dubuque is. I have no idea.
How many hot dog places?
Sure, that and Uber driver.
There's probably quite a few Uber drivers, taxi drivers. I mean, we still have taxi services here too. But yeah, there's quite a few.
Yeah.
It'd be
I just
super
find it-
interesting.
Next
Stop by sometime.
next time you're in an Uber Lyft, just ask that question if you feel safe enough to ask it. Going,
All
what do
right.
you do besides Uber Lyft? You would be shocked to find out. I guarantee the majority of them, I hold a Class A license.
All right.
Jesse, where did you grow up? Where's home?
Home is Iowa. I grew up in Iowa. I grew up part of my childhood, young adulthood in Oklahoma, out by Tulsa. And then I moved to Iowa when I was about 14, 15, right in that range. And all my schooling, high school, everything was right here in Iowa. I'm an Iowa
On the
girl.
east side or the
Stuck
west
in
side?
corn and detasseling.
Dubuque or Sioux City?
Sioux City.
Sioux City. My wife grew up in Bernard, Iowa, which is 12 miles south of Dubuque,
Ah,
a very, very small town.
yeah, I've never heard of that one. Bernard.
They have a guy that has a recipe box to keep their population.
But how
You
many
die, you go to the
cities
back and you move in, you get a new box.
like how many cities are actually in Iowa?
How many what? City?
How many cities? Is
I
there
don't
really?
know. 99 counties.
There can't be that many.
There's 99 counties. And assuming there's at least 10 cities in every county, I bet we have 1,000.
Yeah, I agree. Beach, have you ever been to Iowa?
I have.
Walcott?
I went pheasant hunting on the outskirts of Walcott, and I can't remember the actual city it was. It was a long time ago. And this lady that this place we were staying at, this guy's grandmother, great grandmother, was fixing us breakfast, and he was like, "Man, you're gonna love this breakfast. It's awesome." And he goes, "This is Iowa. It's a traditional. You'll love it." And so I get in there, and she's like, "Hey, we're gonna have dumplings for breakfast." And I'm like, "Right," you know. I'm thinking, okay, chicken and dumplings. You know, this is great, awesome. No, it was a wad of dough this big around, and she sits it in the bowl and then continues to pour grease on top of it. And my buddy is just sitting there in his coveralls, and I'm just looking at it like, "You're gonna eat it." And I'm just like, I can't. I'm fixing to go hunting with all these clothes. No, I'm not about to do this. I took a bite, and it was all I could do to hold back gagging. And I was just like,
I have never heard of that.
Who's
Never
your
heard of that.
friend?
And certainly never had it for
What's he
breakfast.
feeding you?
I don't know what it was. It was disgusting. He was like, "Oh, you didn't like that?" I'm like, "No, man, I didn't like that. It was awful. What did you think?" He goes, "Oh, man, she loves that." I go, "Well, why didn't you?" And he goes, "Oh, that tastes like shit. I'm not going to eat one."
Were you like on Candid Camera or something? I mean, that's
I
something
don't know.
Iowa
I don't
thing.
know. I mean, she had like
I
a
had never heard.
bowl, it was like a pan full of just this dough balls.
Are you sure he was your friend?
Oh yeah, greasy dough balls.
All right.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I've never heard of that.
No.
Certainly never had it for breakfast. And I have been alive for a long time in Iowa.
No, dude,
As a matter of fact,
you're in Iowa. I just assumed that everyone in Iowa pheasant hunt.
I don't know anybody who eats dumplings for breakfast.
Do you
No.
pheasant hunt?
I did. I haven't pheasant hunted in years. Don't have time.
Jessie, what about you?
That's no, negative.
We'd rather go to football games.
Well, it
They're
sounds
more
like
fun.
hot dogs and you go to football games and you hang around Dubuque and you party all the time. I mean, that's what I got from this podcast.
But not just hot dogs. These are foot-long chili dogs. And technically they're in Illinois.
They are in Illinois, but there's Paul's, which is in Dubuque. Have you been to Paul's?
I love Paul's Tap. Best cheeseburger in America.
It's like
Why does it
$3.
make, ho. What does it make it so good? Is it a smash burger?
Because they have this machine
Oh,
that cooks,
lost
I think,
me.
one hamburger at a time.
No.
And it's been there since 1930 something.
Okay, I'm back in.
I'm telling you what, this burger is fantastic.
So there's a place in Hopkinsville, Kentucky that makes smash burgers. And I hope it's Hopkinsville. People are going to get mad at me if it's not. And this grease that they use to marinate the burgers on is like highly sought after by chefs throughout the world because they want a jug of it. Because he's just been using and regurgitating the same grease for like 1930s. It's just got all this flavor in it.
I think that might be the secret to Paul's
It could be.
burgers, the deliciousness.
Never
It's
been
just this
cleaned.
old, but you would love this place, Beach, because there are dead animal heads taking up every square inch of space on the walls, watching you eat this delicious.
Above the bar, on the sides, everywhere you
Below
go. There are,
you,
yes.
in the
everywhere.
bar.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's wacky. Probably seats what, Jesse, 50 people maybe?
Yeah. But I think it's like a local hangout. It's also, I know, like the, younger crew. My son goes to college over here in Dubuque too. And I know the kids from college go there all the time for the burgers. Again, they're cheap. They're like $3, maybe $3.25, I think, for a cheeseburger. And they are so good.
They really are.
So besides trucking, Jesse, what do you do for fun?
Oh, really just trucking is kind of the main thing. Like, you get sucked into trucking.
Come on.
But when I'm not doing
I know what
trucking-
you're talking about. You get on the weekends. It's like,
Yes.
what's my numbers look like? What is the
We
one?
go boating, we go hanging out with kids and the family. Really, it's just all about the family.
Good deal. Boating. You have your own boat. You have the ski behind or the surf behind boat. What kind of boat or pontoon?
I do. Yeah, we have a ski surf behind a surf boat.
Which, for whatever reason, I've seen it. Did you show me a
You've
picture? You were
seen
showing
it?
somebody a picture and I saw it. And
I
it
think
also
in
looks like a
Nashville.
Hirschbach trailer.
It is, yeah. It's orange, white, and black. It's a Hirschbach boat. Yeah. Again,
I'm a-
trucking is my weekends too.
I'm a pontooner, and if I tried to come across that wake, it's over with.
On a pontoon?
Oh yeah.
That's why you need a ski boat, the surf boat. Much easier.
No, I can't.
That's what I have.
I don't even. You have one. A pontoon.
I have a Cobalt. It's a ski boat.
I'd love to see you do this.
To do what?
Do you get out there and you get on the wakeboard and you surf?
I haven't done it in years, but I can.
This could be a fun episode.
This would be, now that would be something I would watch over and over again. Now, here's the thing though. Back in the day, I was a slalom. I can't say it. Someone help me with that.
Slalom?
Perfect. There you go. Thank you. Skier champion. Do you know this?
Wow.
How would we know this?
That's not true. It's not true.
We don't get the Saudi Daisy daily.
Yeah. But you had to wear, I don't know what it was, but anytime I was going out and going skiing, whether it be regular 2 skis, 1 ski, I had to wear jorts. I don't know what it is about jorts, cut-off jean shorts.
Oh, I thought you said Jordans, like you're wearing Air Jordan tennis shoes.
That's what I thought I said too. Yes.
Jorts.
Okay.
Jorts. You gotta have the cut-off jorts with the fray, and you had that part. And I don't know what it was, but when I had those jorts on,
You're unstoppable.
unstoppable.
I mean, I can see this being a thing now. I think we go on Darin's Cobalt. You wear your, whatever you call them.
Jorts.
You can ski.
What did you just call them? Cut-off jean shorts in Iowa? They're jorts.
I've never heard that term before ever in my life.
Really? I have.
Seriously.
But here's the
Oh
deal.
my
I boat
gosh.
on the same lake. I've been on the same lake for 20 years. And I don't necessarily want everybody to see me pulling beach around in jorts behind my boat. We'd have to do it on an off day or like a Tuesday or something.
We
Can
can
you
do it in
imagine
city.
the amount of gas power that you'd have to push that boat on just to get me up? It would be like a wall of water over my head and be holding my breath for at least 2 minutes when I come out.
We'll
I'll come out of
take
the
you
water
up
like
to-
this.
I don't think you can hold on for 2 minutes. You're gonna
We'll
let
take you
go
to
or
the
you're gonna
beach.
pop up.
You can do it on the Mississippi.
There
You
you
can
go.
go with the channel and you'll be fine. We'll get you a foot-long hot dog.
Paul's Burger for later on.
I'd have to add in some Advil, lots of Advil.
There's a really great brewery down on the corner from Paul's now too. What's that?
Gosh, there's so many of them now. I mean, there's
Right on the
Dimensional
corner.
Brewing, there's Seven Hills Brewing, there's Back Pocket Brewing. There's quite a few of them in town now.
Dubuque's got it going on. They've done a lot of really cool stuff in the last couple of
They
years.
have a lot of food, a lot of good drinks, a lot of good food places. So
And I just did the math. You're getting married on my 55th birthday.
really,
So there's no excuses for ever missing my birthday again.
happy birthday.
I thought you were older than that.
I mean,
Okay.
I might be a little bit occupied, this coming birthday, but I'll tell you happy
Yeah.
birthday after that.
You got
So,
9 shopping days, right?
there you go. Yeah,
What would you,
nothing else to do.
being 55, what would you want for your birthday? What is something you need?
I don't need anything. You know what I'm doing?
What?
I opened up my mouth last year to my kids and who were making fun of me for being old and out of shape, and
Mhm.
which is fair. I am old and out of shape. And I told them that I would do a 5K once a month at 55. So I've been training for the last couple months and I have a 5K in 2 days.
That's amazing.
Then I will do one every month for the next 12 months.
Now, is this in your neighborhood, your 5K, or did you just create your own 5K?
No, these are competitive. I mean, I'm not competitive, but they are 5K races. I'm not just running around the block 70 times.
So they have 5Ks throughout all of Iowa winter where you're from?
No, that's going to be a little bit of a challenge,
Yeah.
but we spend January, February, and part of March, or excuse me, February, March, and part of April in Arizona.
Oh,
So I'll be able to do those. And I've been amazed at how they have these virtual 5Ks.
Huh.
So you get on a treadmill online and run a 5K with people from all over the world. So
have you,
I'm assuming that
you
will
done
be
that yet?
done in the winter.
Look
I have
at
not.
this. This is
doing
it.
my first
This is my
one.
virtual. I'm doing a virtual 5K right now.
Yeah, you might be onto something there, Beach.
oh,
There
sure.
we
Yeah.
go.
My first one is Saturday. So no, I've never done one. And
Well, congrats. That's huge. That's
I'm
awesome.
scared to death.
So
Well, if I live through it, we'll get this thing published and
what are you wearing for this 5K? So please
shorts
no, jorts would be wonderful, but please tell me it's
and an Iowa football helmet.
Is it like the running tight? What do you call those bikers? Short tight.
Unitard
Are you wearing that?
singlet? No, I am not. I
Please,
am
please
a
do.
pair of gym shorts and a t-shirt.
I will buy you one. Now, hey, hey, write this down for Darin. You need one of them little tight, a medium. Yeah,
Medium.
medium.
I'm not sure they make double extra medium running singlets.
Leotards.
Those are typically for skinnier people.
Oh, that's too funny.
I'm not really going for speed. I'm more of a just getting it done type of deal.
Accomplishing a 5K is going to be, that's awesome. I would love that. So congratulations to you.
But thank you. It's I'm scared to death. We'll see how it goes.
You'll be great.
You got to do a live video of it though.
I'm just gonna try to breathe.
I mean, I would stay literally if you did a live, I would stay with you the full 2 or 3 hours it's going to take you to do it. I'd stay with it and watch it.
2 or 3 hours. It's a 5K, not a marathon. If it takes me 2 hours, it'll involve a trip to the hospital.
It would me. At one point, I used to play soccer. That was my sport. Played it for
Which is incredibly high intense
26
cardio.
years. Ran and then now, if I go out and run, my knees are like, "What are you doing? No, go back inside.
Yeah,
Sit
it's
down,
been
grab a
like
drink."
It's
Get a
been a
burger.
2-month process to get back in. I haven't ran since high school, man. I mean,
Nice.
and back then I just did it to cut weight. I mean, for
Jesse,
all the wrong reasons.
Jesse, do you run?
No.
Yeah.
No,
I don't either.
not unless I'm being chased by something, but no, maybe a big spider or like, a dog. I don't know.
So did you ever go down? Did y'all ever have a basement? And when you went down the basement and the lights
We
were
live in Iowa. Everybody has basements.
so you went down the basement, the lights are turned off, you turn the lights off, do you run up the stairs like I ain't standing in the dark basement? Do you just completely start taking off as fast as you can? Was that normal?
No, do you do that?
Yeah.
Hell, I still do it.
Yes. There's no way I'm not exactly. I'm gonna go down, grab whatever it is in the basement, and the light comes off. I'm jetting up that thing. There's no way.
Mine's a finished basement. I could be the only guy down there for 3 hours watching a game. I know there's nothing down there but me. And I got to get out of there. When that light goes off, no, I don't like it.
I mean, I have a little dog, right? He's 4 pounds. He's like this big. His name's Cujo. And so he protects me from anything. So we're okay.
A Yorkie?
A Morkie.
Morkie. What's a Morkie?
He's a Maltese and a Yorkie.
He's only 4 pounds. Wow.
He's 4 pounds.
I would.
I've
got 2
dog.
Yorkies.
I want to see this dog. Number 2, we had a dog like that, and it was a Yorkie, and he was 14 pounds of pure muscle. He was only supposed to be 4 pounds.
Obviously, Jesse's never listened to the show.
Yeah, she hasn't.
Oh.
Yeah, you need to go back. I'm not going to tell the story of Samson. That was his name.
Do you think that happened to Samson? Because if it did, I cannot listen to it. I can't.
No. He was just a beast.
I wouldn't let him tell that on the podcast.
Yeah, he was a beast.
What was that when we did? We had Rob on the show.
Yeah.
Rob Hatchett.
Yep.
Listen to the Rob Hatchett. It's
Okay.
Yeah, he was just pure muscle.
fascinating.
Just mean and pure muscle.
See, mine's not mean though. His name is mean, but he's like, he'll just lick you to death.
Have you ever watched Cujo?
Well, I've never watched it, but I know of the movie, and he's named after that. It's like,
You gotta watch
big
it.
scary dog, little 4 pounds. It's fine.
Yeah, go watch.
We
Cujo.
have Yorkies, and for years and years and years, I tried to find him those studded collars, like the big pit bulls wear. They don't make them in a extra small.
No, never seen him.
I love it. You could wear one for your 5K.
Jorts and a studded collar
And a leotard.
and the unitard. That's I can hear people turning this off right now.
Just imagine if people
They're
just see
visualizing.
counseling. Honey, come to the window and look at what I'm seeing out here.
You're gonna have a fan crowd coming out to watch you run.
I don't think so.
I'd get my lawn chair out, and if you were running a circle, I'd sit out there and wait on you.
It's not a circle. It's it's a circle, but it's a 5 or 3 mile jaunt through this town.
What town is it?
Mount Vernon, Iowa,
What day is it?
Saturday. Don't show up, Jesse. You've got wedding plans. Probably a big bachelorette party this Saturday.
No. We had that a few weeks ago. Like that gets intense. So we need to like separate the events. So
Did you go to Nashville like every other bachelorette in America?
No. We thought about it. It was on the list.
Where'd you go to?
We went to Okoboji. Beach.
Oh yeah.
Darin, you know.
Okay.
Fun stuff.
What is
It was a good
Okoboji?
The Disneyland of Iowa. It's an old, it's a big lake.
Yeah.
But it's kind of old. They haven't really updated the town in what, I don't know, 40 years. So it's kind of, I mean, it's charming, right? But in a fun kind of way.
Yeah, big, huge
Big
party
boat?
barge boats and lots of bars to choose from. Good restaurants, good food, good people.
Now,
It's good.
what's your go-to drink, Jessie?
Tito's vodka.
Straight?
I mean, I can mix it with cranberry or Sprite or, 7-Up. Straight,
It has to be Tito's.
yes.
We haven't drank on the show in a while for a happy hour podcast.
Well,
Okay.
I'm in the office, so I can't drink right now, but maybe next
Well,
time.
we can, no,
Yeah.
but,
You need to.
and we don't ever tell anybody what time we're doing this. For all they know, it's
Oh, yeah,
6:00 at night.
that's true.
Now the people on
He's
the
looking
glass
around
office
like
here
the
might
camera.
notice.
Yeah, the one day when you sent me the message, I thought we're doing the podcast on Saturday. I think that was actually the weekend for the bachelorette party. And I was like, I don't think that's gonna work for me, guys.
Yeah, you give us
Y'all
way
were
too
all-
much
y'all
credit
were-
if you think
y'all
we do
were-
this on
I
a
felt
Saturday.
that was the one time I felt like I am actually on point. Neither Darren nor Jessie knowing the heck they're talking about. I have no idea what their calendar's going on. I'm the professional one in this little group here. And I felt good for that one email chain. And after that, it just was like, eh.
Well, then I think I sent another date that was also a Saturday. or
You did.
I
You
messed
did.
it up worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took it bad. I went from bad to worse. Beach, you said you had a trucking question for Jesse. Was it about the Uber drivers?
It was about the Uber drivers. I mean, I just find that
That was a trucking question?
yeah.
Yeah, I guess it played
It's
in.
my new recruiting strategy. I'm sending recruiters to some Uber drivers and
Now, I did ask you this question a while back, Jesse. How's the truck driving training program going for y'all?
yeah, our truck driving training program. So we've launched it a couple different times in my lovely tenure here at Hirschbach. This time we've had it going now for about a year. It's actually really good. And so we work with some incredible people who are helping us with the design, the content, the training, making sure that we're doing all the right things. When COVID first hit and truck drivers kind of held on to their jobs, it was a little bit challenging for us to hire drivers and trying to convince them to come in and travel on a bus or a plane or however we can get them here to start a new job. We said, well, and all the schools kind of shut down. So that's kind of why we started our own CDL school program. And so since then, it's been going pretty well. So we have targeted areas that we're hiring from, some really great people out there. And we feel like we're trying to help people get into the industry that may not have known about truck driving and the options that it offers. So
How's it?
So you started this during COVID? So when the
Yeah.
schools shut down, you said, we're going to do our own?
we did. Yep.
Was it a struggle getting people to commit to that?
We started pretty slow. I mean, there was a lot of people who are unemployed and losing their jobs and just trying to figure out, what am I going to do now? How am I going to support my family now? And there's some people who didn't want to work and they were okay not working, but there's still a group of people who, wanted to get into this field. And so we were that outlet for them. So it wasn't a huge amount. We kept everything pretty, constrained and low numbers of people in their classrooms, just to make sure we didn't have any, no COVID outbreaks or anything, but we wanted to make sure we provided that. And we knew down the road, these drivers would eventually become part of our core fleet.
I always find I would love to know the actual data of the retention for an entry-level driver across the nation. Just be able to have that data would be amazing. And to me, I think it would show that most of those that are entry-level driver, you got a better retention rate for that. And just because, and that's just from my perspective back when I was in recruiting for a large carrier.
I don't understand what you're saying. You're saying, so you would say that at Hirschbach specifically, or at ABC Trucking specifically, an entry-level driver that you train is going to stay longer than the guy you got from DEF Trucking.
I totally think
Is
so.
that what you're saying?
I would think so.
Oh, that makes sense.
I would think because it's that when you stop and you look at, again, experienced drivers as well, they get those bumps, right, in CPMs. But for an entry-level driver, you're getting that student pay, right? And there's a weekly pay for however long, and for, let's say, 4 weeks. Then you get another bump in pay, right? Usually lasts for, 4 weeks. And then for the next 60 to 90 days, you're at this level CPM. And then after that, then you hit another. So you're getting a lot of, a little bump, another bump, another bump, another bump. So they're seeing that pay increase as they go along. So it's like that moving up the ladder in a sense as a professional driver. And I think at that 90-day sweet mark, right, is that, to me, is that where are they staying? Who's staying the longest at that 90-day mark? And I think a entry-level driver is. I just would have to guess it's a better retention. It's just my opinion.
Yeah. And I think you're onto something, Matt. We haven't done a whole lot of research just to make sure. We did research beforehand, right? Before we started the program, saying, okay, we don't want to just train people up and be their starter company, have them move on. We want them for a long time. We want to be their career path. We want to help them get into the industry and stay with us, and be their choice, right? Not just here's who I can get on with. And so the initial research that we did and all the analysis we did say that. It said the drivers that we bring up on our own, we train them. There are people, we continue to help develop them and make them better. They're going to stay with us longer. So we're still, again, it's still fairly new for us, start off very small and very slow. And now we're ramping up the program. So I wouldn't be able to give you enough numbers, or I don't have enough research right now to validate that. But I think you're right, though. I think you're onto something.
Yeah. Again, you made a point of we don't want them just to come on board just for us to help them get their Class A, right? And get on the trainer truck and leave. And that's what a lot of you call them trainer carriers, in the sense of the student goes to this large carrier, they run for a certain amount of time. Once they get off the trainer truck, now I've got my Class A, I feel comfortable, I'm not really, and then I'm going to leave you guys for a local company over here. But a lot of that is, well, what's your pay structure? How's that flow look like? Are you doing tuition reimbursement, right? Are you doing a bonus when they graduate from their finishing school or whatever the program is? And so there's all those tons of little bumps and pay increases that those top entry-level drivers see. And again, I just think it'd be interesting across the board for everyone that's doing a entry-level driver training program. What's that retention look like? But then it goes to, well, if it's fantastic, I don't really want to say anything because I don't want to tell anybody it's good. Like,
I don't know. There's enough people out there in the industry, I think, that we can bring them all into trucking and help them all, get their CDLs. Yeah. It's only going to help us all together. So I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Probably
something to be said with like career progression too, right? I mean, you can kind of see your progression down the road if you stay with the same carrier. Makes a lot of sense. That's something Beach doesn't always do on here.
Yeah. A lot.
Jessie, we've kept you away from your job long enough here, but thank you very much for spending a little time with us today. Best of luck in your upcoming weeks here. It's a big time. So safe travels, and I hope everything goes all right for that. Don't forget, Beach is an ordained minister if things go south on you.
I've got Aunt Speedale Beach just in case. And thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate your time. And we'll see you soon for some Paul's Burgers and some footlongs.
Mulgrew's footlong chili dogs.
There you go.
Thank you very much. Be safe and keep on trucking.
All right. Have a good day.
Have a good one.